Hello, hello, hello. So we are going to try this again. Uh, Thank you for joining me today. We will see who all is able to get on this way. If it's now 4 p.m. and I am going to get this message out flawlessly so that people are able to watch it and at least catch replays of it one way or another. And so I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to be able to get on and join me. I know that a lot of people have been sharing the link to join me here on Hangouts on air for these 4 tips that I want to give people in regards to execution. Executing their ideas and executing their dreams. And so I want to make sure that people are able to get on and join me. So I'm just going to wait just a few minutes. So I thank you if you're on now and bearing with me while I get my trusty dusty phone here and send out yet another message and let people know what that we are live. Wonderful, awesome. So let's post this. I'm getting various notifications, so we'll see what's happening. So anyway, for sake of everyone's time, this will actually be recorded and end up on my YouTube channel. That's the great thing about Google Hangouts. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on moving. But this particular message is really geared towards my creatives and my procrastinators. And so just to let you know just a little bit on how we ended up here on Hangout today is that I actually was trying to do this on Periscope, which for those of you that know, is a new social media platform that allows you to live stream and people are able to interact with you right there while you're talking, and it records and it replays for up to 24 hours so that you're able to get your message out globally to a lot more people. So that's what I was attempting to do with this message. And there is a replay, but it keeps freezing and people were having problems getting on. And I do think that this is an important message. So I wanted to make sure that I got this out today because so often, especially with my creatives and my procrastinators, and don't worry, I'm not going to have you tell me which one you are, so your secret is safe. But we are great at coming up with fabulous ideas. People often talk about the creative mind and just the different things that you're able to come up with, but a lot of times we lack in the area of execution. And so there is a quote, and I'm not sure who it's attributed to, so forgive me, but it just talks about how some of the best ideas are found in the cemetery because people go to their graves with those ideas still inside them because they never birthed them out because they did not execute. And there's several different reasons on why people don't execute, those ideas. Fear of failure, fear of success, being nervous. But hopefully with these 4 steps that I'm gonna give you, it will help you move past any excuse that you can give yourself and actually move into execution mode, especially when it comes to building your business and building your brand. So for those of you that may be on that don't know who I am Famira, the Diamond Diva. And what I do is I help women create show-stopping brands that helps them show up big from online to in life. So that's what I do. I am a visual branding extraordinaire, so I do design work as well as brand coaching. And so the first step of execution, of course, is the idea. And this is usually the step that most people have no problem with. They come up with a fabulous idea and usually when you have a great idea, what's the first thing that happens? You're super excited about it, right? And you're ready to kind of tell the world, but you don't want to share it too much because you're just like, what am I gonna do with this idea? But you're sitting, and for me, I don't know about you all, but most of my ideas come when I'm driving. Funny, funny how that is. But so I usually am definitely have a recorder, voice recorder. I've learned to have that. I'm always traveling with some type of journal or notebook like this one that you see here, so that I'm able to capture those things. So the first thing is definitely the idea. You come up with the idea, you decide, is it something that you're supposed to execute now or later? This is definitely a step that's very important because a lot of times, especially when you're a super creative, you have tons of ideas. Ideas, you have no problem in the idea department. Ideas are kind of just flowing through you like a bank, like a river. So you have several ideas, and so the first step with the idea portion is coming up with what are you supposed to execute now, what are you supposed to hold on to for later, and execute at a later date. And so once you decide that and okay, this is an idea that I really want to move forward with, we move into step two, which is actually the planning and the strategy. And so with planning and strategy, this is where most of my creatives get lost. And most of my procrastinators as well, because this is not necessarily the fun part, when you actually come up with the strategy and what you need to do and what is going to be your plan in order to launch this fantastic idea you had. I have a lot of entrepreneur friends that are just the run and dive off of the edge of the cliff type, which can be fine, but you still want to have some type of strategy. This is where I'm different than most creatives that I know, because I'm very equally both sides. So I'm both left and right brain. I am both creative just as much as I am a planner. And so I get it. You have to have that strategy in place. And so creating the strategy, the steps, even if it's just a rough outline of the idea, I don't necessarily, with my clients that are super creative, I don't try to overwhelm them with, oh, you need to give me 17 steps on how this plan is going to take place or what the strategy is going to be. I don't think that that's necessary, but you need to have some type of outline or brain map on what's supposed to happen with this idea that you are trying to bring to fruition. And so you come up with those steps. But this is where a lot of people get stuck and they stay forever in the planning mode. You can't stay there. It will never happen. It will just always be an idea that's on paper if you don't move from planning and strategy into action. And so you definitely have to move from that place into creating action. I mean, some of the best laid plans, it doesn't matter if nothing happens behind them. So in order to thrust you into action mode, because that's what a lot of us actually need, we need to be pushed in a way. You hear a lot of times people talk about accountability partners and having accountability partners. And I think that's fabulous. I'm not trying to take away from that. I mean, I have my own accountability partners. One is M.E. Porter. She's M.E. Motivates. If you don't know her, you should definitely connect with her and follow her. But she definitely helps keep me accountable and helps remind me of things that I said I wanted to do. However, this is my issue with accountability partners. Even if you pick accountability partner that you don't know personally, over the course of time, you begin to know that person. And so even if you try to pick a stranger or somebody from like a think tank or a mastermind that you may be a part of or a Facebook group, whatever the case may be, and you get this accountability partner, it's great. And you all begin, holding each other accountable. But a lot of times what happens is you still begin to know that person, because anytime that you're in connection with somebody, you get to know them outside of the business realm. So you usually will end up sharing personal things with each other, even if you're not necessarily telling them everything. You begin to share those, some personal tidbits, so they know what's going on with you in your life. They know what challenges that you are facing, all of those different things. And so what begins to happen is that they begin to, oftentimes without even realizing it, become more empathetic and more lenient when it comes to holding you accountable. And so yes, things are going to happen and timelines are going to get shifted and things are going to get pushed back. However, you don't want to get to a place where you end up with someone that is just like, girl, it's okay. You can do that next quarter. And then you're like, oh, girl, that's okay. You can do that at the first of the year. The next thing you know, it's been 6 months to a year and you still have not launched the idea that you had. And then what happens? You look up and someone else has launched that idea similar, and you're like, dang, they took my idea. No, they didn't take your idea because no one knew of your idea because you haven't done anything with your idea. So, but it's something that needs to be done. And so that's why you were given the idea. But if you don't move on it, then it has to come to fruition in some other way. And so that's why I'm a fan of accountabilities for partners for what they are, but I think that it needs to be coupled with what I call public accountability. And so what's public accountability? Public accountability is similar to what I did today. I'm new to periscoping and live streaming. I'm much more comfortable with this, with a webinar or just videoing, something like that, where I know it's going to work. But live streaming is something that's new to me in regards to Periscope. So I'm trying to, that's one of my things that I'm stepping out and really trying to do more of. And so what did I do? When I decided that I was going to Periscope on today at 3 p.m., I went for public accountability. Yes, I told my accountability partner because we message each other all day long, so she knew what was going on. But I also coupled that with public accountability. And what did I do? I posted it on all my social media sites. Twitter and Facebook. I posted it in, I have a Facebook group for women entrepreneurs, which is called Diamond Diva Showstoppers. So if anyone's watching this and you want to join us there, you can just look for us on Facebook. But I posted it in there, let the ladies there know that I was going to be periscoping at 3 p.m. Eastern. I posted it in various Facebook groups that I'm a part of to let people know that I was doing it. So what does this do? What this does when you actually invoke public accountability is now the very people that you are looking to do business with, that you're looking to build relationships with, they are seeing you put this out into the world that this is what you're going to be doing. So whether it's an event or a new product or whatever kind of launch, put it out publicly. That is often something that's scary to people to do, but that is what will hold you to get it done. I could not have put out there that I was going to be on Periscope at 3 o'clock and then not show up on Periscope at 3 o'clock. I mean, unless something catastrophic had happened, I was going to be on Periscope at 3 o'clock because I knew people were going to be there looking for me because I had put it out there that that's where I was going to be. And so that's the difference between having an accountability partner who is just one person and public accountability, which is now all the people that you're connected with, and just like even with this, okay, Periscope didn't work. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to take it a step further because I'm talking about execution. It is something that people need to know about. It's something that can help people. So I'm not going to get stuck on the fact that Periscope didn't work. I'm going to do this Google Hangout. So what did I do again? Public accountability. I put it out there to let people know 4 o'clock, we're doing it again. I'm not going to allow, even technology to stop me from what my purpose is in helping people with building their brands. And so this is a message that needs to be heard and I'm going to put it out. So I posted again. So then what happened? I had clients and, friends and other people that started sharing my posts. They started inviting people to this hangout. So I could not be here at 4 o'clock for this hangout on air to let you all know what I'm talking about with execution. So it's a whole nother level of accountability when you invoke public accountability. So don't be afraid to do it. Even if you just are simply saying, I have something coming fall 2015 or October 2015, it's better if you could put specific dates with it, if you know what they're going to be. But if you don't know, just put the time frame, because what'll happen is people will check in on you. You'll be surprised. Oftentimes I'll launch, get ready to launch something, and I'll put something out that says coming soon. And then a couple weeks will go by and somebody will inbox me and say, are you still on schedule? What's going on? I hadn't seen you post about it yet. So I want to know, is it still happening? That will begin to happen. And that sometimes even those, when people are checking in on you, those things come at, like, they have a divine way of showing up right when you need it. When you are like, I am not doing this. It's just too much. I have been procrastinating. Somebody will inbox you and say, so what's going on with that event? Or what's going on with that new book that you're supposed to be putting out? All of that. So it's very important that you elicit the public accountability, because in the long run, it actually will help motivate you and push you to getting it done. So then the fourth thing is just executing. And so, I mean, no one says it better than Nike. Just do it. And so the big tip I wanted to give people in regards to the execution phase of it is that you have to detach yourself emotionally from the results. And so, yes, you want to know what your results are, what you're planning for your results to be. You definitely want to, say your manifestation. I'm a big believer in manifestation. I'm a big believer in faith, because I believe in God. I don't push my beliefs on anyone else, but that's my personal belief. So I believe in having faith and speaking about those things that are not as though they are until you see them actually manifest in the physical. All of that's great. But at the same time, you have to take your steps. You have to just do it. You can't get caught up in you just at the house always saying affirmations in the closet, in the mirror, in the bathroom, whatever. You doing your manifestation exercises, but you ain't doing nothing of your part to make sure that it happens. You have to just do it. You can't get wrapped up in emotionally tied to the results. And so what do I mean by that? Let's take, for example, this. Even in just sharing this post, yeah, I would love for there to be thousands of people on these videos, or on my Periscope when I'm doing it. I mean, I have a following on Facebook of like 700 people. I think even on Periscope now, I think I have at least 250, close to 300 followers. All of that, whatever. It's great. I love that people are paying attention to my brand and what I'm doing. Wonderful. However, do I expect every time I get on something that there's going to be 700 people on here watching me? No, not yet. Anyway, one day, it is a goal. It's what I want. But at the end of the day, I can't get caught up and emotionally attached to the results of what happens from anything that I execute. Because I don't care if I was sitting here talking to myself, or if there was only one person or two people, watching this live while I'm sharing. That's irrelevant. The fact is that it is something that I wanted to do, an idea and information that I have that people need, and I was going to execute that. And so, especially speaking to my women right now, oftentimes we get so emotionally attached to the results. So what do I mean by that? I mean that when we're doing something like, say, this hangout, and only two people show up, then we think it's something wrong with us. Oh, people aren't connected to my message. People don't like me. What am I doing wrong? Blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, a lot of times it has nothing to do with that. You don't know if it's people that wanted to be on, but they got a phone call at the last minute that they had to take. They had their business meeting ran late, so they couldn't be on like they wanted to. Family emergency happened. Life happens to everyone all around. And so whatever the results are from whatever you're doing, when you're launching a program, you planned your program and you wanted 25 people, and you only got 5 or you only got 10 people to sign up for your program. It does not a failure make. Like, you can't get emotionally tied to that. What you do is you look at it strategically now, because now you have data that you can use for the next time you want to launch. Okay, well, that didn't necessarily work. 4 o'clock's not working. People aren't showing up. Next time, I'm going to try 7 and see, are more people able to be on then. When I periscoped at 3 o'clock, it kept crashing. Maybe it's a lot of people periscoping. So let me try an off-peak time, something random like, 6 o'clock or 11 in the morning. and then you're able to try different things and see what types of results you get. This is where men and women differ, because men don't get emotionally tied to the results. It just makes them say, oh, I need to redo this. I need to execute again and execute again and execute again until I get the desired results I want. But oftentimes as women, we executed one time, we didn't worked up all of this courage, and we execute whatever it is that we're working on, and then we don't get the desired results we want, and then we just never execute nothing else ever again. And we had all this wonderfulness, all these wonderful ideas, all these wonderful things that we needed to accomplish that don't get done because now we're nervous and we don't want to execute simply because it didn't work the first time. So you have to disconnect yourself emotionally from the results. At the end of the day, those people that are supposed to get it, those people that were supposed to hear it, those people that were supposed to attend your event, the people that were supposed to be a part of your program, those people will be a part. And then those people will be the people that will share with other people. And then the next time, instead of having 6 people show up, you might have 20 people show up. And the next time, instead of 20, it might be 50. But you just continue to move forward. Execution is not end all be all, like, oh, okay, I put this program out, I executed, that's it. No, no, you have to continue to build upon it. It's just one step in the journey. And when you start to really look at your business as a journey itself and not just as the destination of the success of the lifestyle you want to live, you will continue to execute. There's tons of ideas that I've had that I've started on the execution path. I mean, I have a whole program that I launched, executed, I have all of the information with, and then was like, the timing for this is just not right. And I pulled it off. I pulled it back, and and didn't actually have the class start. But none of this would I have learned had I not took action and executed on the idea that was within me. So will it come out eventually? Yes, it definitely will. It will come out, and it's already set to go. And I'm already building an audience for that, so that when now I executed this next time, it'll be ready. So, so you can't, everything is always, a lot of stuff is still trial and error. You get with coaches so that you don't have to do 2-3 years of trial and error, but at the same time, you still have to put it out there. You have to see what's going to happen. You just have to take the leap. You just have to execute it. You just have to say yes and say, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try something I've never tried before. If you're nervous about doing video, just videotape yourself. You don't have to do it live on air like I'm doing. I didn't start out doing stuff live because I was always like, I don't like how I show up on the screen, and all the girl stuff, I'll be like, oh, my hair, my lipstick is just right, all of that. So at first I never did anything live. I just taped it myself here in my room so that I could tape it over and over again and over and over again until it got to how I liked it. And then I got more comfortable with it. I got more comfortable with being in front of the camera. That then I started doing webinars and I started doing live. So you can also take execution in levels. You don't have to just have your one idea and just be like all the way to the finish line, to the complete vision, total vision of it. You could take it in small chunks. If you have an idea for a program, instead of just running with the whole program right now, come up with a free webinar. That's one aspect of the program. See if people are interested, see if people are looking at it. But the bottom line is you must do something. You cannot just sit on it. It cannot just stay on paper in a notebook. It can't stay like this. Like, it has to get off the pages of all your journals, because I know I know my creatives, y'all have 17 journals for different things. It has to come off the pages of your journals and into real life. And so even if you have to start small, just start there, but do something, and do something today. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you're just joining us again, this has been all about execution. And so the first step is, of course, the idea. Number 2, you take it into strategy and planning mode. From there, you move into accountability, but even beyond public even beyond accountability partners into public accountability, and then for its execution and learning how to not be emotionally attached to the results so that you're able to just learn from it, revamp it, execute again. So again, I am Famira, the Diamond Diva, and I am your visual branding extraordinaire. So I hope this has been helpful to those of you that were watching live and for anyone that may watch the replay as well. Also know that you can find me on all social media networks at Diamond Diva FG for Famira Green. That's my name. As well as I have a Facebook group for women entrepreneurs that are looking to be showstoppers in their business, and it's called Diamond Divas Showstoppers. You can just look it up and find me and request entry there. We're always talking about everything when it comes to business and life. And so my website as well is www.famira, that's F as in fabulous, AMIRA, last name Green, just like the color.com. So I look forward to connecting with you. I love to connect with new people. I have new things coming up, and so you will be seeing my coming soons and my public accountability posts shortly on those different ideas that I'm getting ready to put out. So this is definitely something that I know about. This is how I have been able to build my mailing list from nothing to 700 people in 1 year. It was just off of continuing to execute things, continuing to just do stuff small, even if they were taking those small steps, but just moving. I always say it doesn't matter whether you are walking, running, or crawling, as long as you're moving forward. And so I hope this has been helpful to those that have joined me, and make sure once it shows up on YouTube that you share it with your friends as well. And y'all have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.